Anne, firstly, thank you very much for letting us film this. Tell me a little bit about the title and the inspiration for this piece.
Well, I was looking at the garden, and what always impresses me most about the garden is, in some ways, is the fact that it's so protected. And part of that protection is due to the trees, that the original trees that were built to shelter the garden.
Shelter belt, yeah.
Yeah, and it allows the garden to prosper. It allows it to develop and grow behind it, and that's a big thing. So that in thinking about trees, I thought about leaf shapes, which I'm quite fond of doing, which is quite interesting to do when it's something that's so ephemeral, and to turn it into stone is quite interesting. So I was looking for an abstracted leaf shape to do with it. And what I wanted to do also, with all of my work, there's a memory involved. And because I was thinking about the shelter, the fact that the trees enveloped around the garden and gave it that protection, what immediately came to mind was the title. It just popped into my head straight like that. And it was the shelter of your arms.
So you've got the idea, you've got the inspiration, you've got the title, so what do you do next?
Well,
how do you turn it into a sculpture?
I knew I wanted to do an abstracted leaf shape, so I normally do is I grab a piece of plasticine, and that's the normal way to do it, and then I play with it. I know I can't tell you how that's done. I can't tell you what makes me understand that I finished with it. All I know is that when I look at it, it's ready.
Part of the artistic process.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's largely instinctive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. A lot of things are instinctive, and I think when you go on your instincts, it's the best way to go.
And this is what you're holding.
That's
here,
right.
Is
this is the maquette of the piece. It may
not. Maquette. It's called a maquette.
Yeah,
is it?
It's just a model, just to give you an idea.
So this is a miniature version of the sculpture.
It is, and the actual sculpture itself will probably be around 3 times the size of this.
Well, let's go and get started.
Yes, thank you. Well, what I'm going to do, I've measured off from my maquette, and I've produced a template. Yeah, that's the top view, and that's the side view. I'll be marking the 2 sides, either side, and then that will give me an idea of where here I need to take stone out.
How many days do you think it will take to produce, to turn this into the finished product?
That's difficult. I mean, mostly, I would say, usually I would say in hours, so a normal piece would be at least 40 hours. But that would be a small one. I mean, some of them I would say, I've had some where there's been almost maybe 100 hours.
And this has moved on quite a lot since we were last filming, so what have you done since then?
What I did is I've established the perimeters, so I blocked it out. I took all the extraneous stone from the sides, and that gives me my view looking down. And then I did the sides, I took away stone here to establish this curve, and this is my template, which shows you how it's starting to really look its curves.
And so you've moved on from some of the tools that we were using before, which were a bit industrial, onto some more delicate.
Yeah, so before I was using a sharp point, which is it's kind of a blunt instrument in a certain way, but it takes a lot of stone away. So, and this will also take stone out as well. So you can shape with this, but for when you want to do something, you really start carving, then you'll use the main chisels. And here I've used the chisels to start that curve up.
So where did you start? When did you start sculpting?
Probably about 10 years ago, something like that. I just, we have friends, relatives in Canada, and I got interested in the Inuit carvings that you got at Soapstone. I thought I'd like to have a go, and then it kind of went from there. I did quite a number of courses, going from soapstone to limestone, slate, all sorts of things, just increasing my skills all the time. And it was wonderful to find something relatively late in life that you love.
So Anne, this is looking much more like the finished article, or certainly the maquette. So you've taken an awful lot off in the last week.
I have. What you see there is more or less the finished article. I will probably refine it a little bit more, but I'm going to do that now during the smoothing process.
And what are the tools that you're using at this stage? And this stage is your...
It's the smoothing
stage.
What I need to take, it's from now on, each stage will take out another marking on the stone. So I'm going to use rasps to smooth it down. I've got what are called rifflers, got different sizes, with the little files which are shaped. They've got all different shapes and sizes, medium-sized ones and little ones that will do detail, that will just fit in. And they'll do curves and they'll fit round things. Just moving it round the curve.
So do you have a preferred material to work with, Anne?
Probably stone, I think. I do work in wood. I have worked in wood recently, and I probably still enjoy to do that. But I think really that stone's my first love.
So we've moved indoors now, and this is looking very different now. This is looking almost finished.
What's happening now is going to start the polishing process. So since you saw it last, it was covered in rasp marks where I smoothed it down, and I needed to take those rasp marks away with sandpapers, and now I've got to this surface, and now I'm going to make it even finer by using wet and dry papers in succession in different grades to make it as fine as I want it to be.
And now the polishing process. And what are you using there?
This is a diamond abrasive pad. Clean that down, and you can see the grain starting to come through, all the markings in it.
So you've deliberately cut this stone with the grain?
Yes, the block. When I looked at the block in the beginning, I just dampened it down, and I could see the grain was running this way.
So this is almost finished now, the polishing stage, is it?
Yeah, it is almost done.
And so what happens next?
Once I've got it to where I want it, then I'll just give it a little layer of stone polish just to protect it, just give it a little bit of protection and a wee bit of a shine to it.
After all these weeks, here we are just outside the gallery, about to put this beautiful piece of work in place. How does that feel?
I felt really good, really good. I'm really pleased with the exercise, and it was so enjoyable.
The shelter belt was its inspiration, and here it is in view.
Yeah.
Inside the shelter belt, just about to go in the gallery.
Yeah, and in a lovely protected environment.